Speaking of con men, dressed up and packaged nicely, we have the illustrious Dr. Oz. Yes, I'm going there. Recently, he gave out what is supposed to be a miracle in weight loss, fat busting fast solutions. Only the problem is it's not a solution. Dr. Oz's miraculous medical advice. As people were getting ready for the holiday season and its accompanying waist expanding late last year, Dr. Mehmet Oz, or Dr. Oz as I'll refer to him from now on, lets viewers of his show in on a timely little secret. Quote, everybody wants to know what's the newest, fastest fat buster, said the board-certified cardiothoracic surgeon and one of People magazine's sexiest men alive. How can I burn fat without spending every waking moment exercising and dieting? He then told his audience about a breakthrough, magic, holy grail, even revolutionary new fat buster. Quote, I want you to write it down, the American doctor urged his audience with a serious and trustworthy stare, with a careful wrapping his lips around the exotic words, Garcinia cambogia. He added sternly, it may be the simple solution that you've been looking for to bust your body fat for good. In Dr. Oz's New York City studio, Garcinia extract or hydroxytric acid found in fruits like purple mangosteen, I've never heard of that fruit, sounded fantastic, a promising new tool for battling against flab, outside the Oprah-ordained doctor's sensational world of amazing new diets. There's no real debate about whether Garcinia works. The best evidence is unequivocally against it. The miracle cure isn't really a miracle at all. It's not even new. Garcinia cambogia, I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that, but bear with me, has been studied as a weight loss aid for more than 15 years. A 1998 randomized controlled trial looked at the effects of Garcinia as a potential, quote, anti-obesity agent in 135 people. The conclusion? The pills were no better than placebo for weight and fat loss. And this isn't even the worst of it. He's caught the ire of the great James Randi from the James Randi Educational Foundation, just in case you don't like me because I'm downing your new Dr. McDreamy, who happens to push these miracle cures that are helping thousands of women worldwide. Well, he's garnered the Media Pegasus Award by the James Randi Foundation. Dr. Oz, who has done such a disservice to his TV viewers by promoting quack medical practices that he is now the first person to win the Pegasus 2 years in a row. Dr. Oz is a Harvard-educated cardiac physician who, through his syndicated TV show, has promoted faith healing, energy medicine, and other quack theories that have no scientific basis. Oz has appeared on ABC News to give legitimacy to the claim that Brazilian faith healer John of God, who uses old carnival tricks to take money from the seriously ill. He's hosted Ayurvedic guru Yogi Cameron on his show to promote nonsense tongue examinations as a way of diagnosing health problems. This year, he really went off the deep end. In March 2011, Dr. Oz endorsed psychic huckster and past Pegasus winner John Edward, who pretends to talk to dead people. Oz even suggests suggested, that bereaved families should visit psychic mediums to receive fake messages from their dead relatives as a form of grief counseling. Now, some of you might be saying, but James Randi, he was turned down by psychic Sylvia Brown because she doesn't work with godless heathens like him, and his godlessness would interfere with that. Yeah, well, watch enough Sylvia Brown and you'll notice a pattern that she consistently gets her readings wrong, and yet she charges untold amount of money to feed off of grieving people, to feed off of fearful or sad people who've lost loved ones, and try to give them some sort of comfort by trying to say that they are actually in contact with that person. Thus far, outside of cold readings, which are not supernatural but scientific in nature, nobody has yet, or at this point, bested the James Randi Foundation $1 million challenge to prove that psychic powers are real through a demonstration of said powers in a controlled environment. I have not liked Dr. Oz for many years. I knew many of his cures that he was pushing was utter quackery. The fact that Oprah promoted him is disgusting in and of itself, but the fact that now he's gained her audience, that now he's gained the hearts and minds of millions of women, and in some cases men, and is peddling such non-solutions, some of which are homeopathic, some of which are the kind of things that lead people to die, because they go off of what they think is quackery medicine from actual accredited medical science and scientists, because that's part of big pharma, right? And decides to go with other snake oil salesmen and shysters who have allied themselves with Dr. Oz, and who he pushes on his show to people who will do these things, sometimes to somewhat dire consequences, or at least serious health risks. And yet, no, real doctors, real scientists, real people who actually study the actual causes and diagnoses of these diseases, they're called quacks. They're called shysters, snake oil salesmen, scam artists, and their findings, their actual track record of healing people is often called into question by these people who claim to be acting on everybody's behalf, on the behalf of the people. And what's worse is he gets away with it. Dr. Oz gets away with it because of his credentials. Anything he says, whether it can be disproven later on or otherwise, is lent so much credence because people think that his certification automatically makes him right. That he could be advocating that you need no medicines whatsoever, even if you're diabetic. And even if some people get hurt because of it, oh well, he's Dr. Oz. He knows what he's talking about. These people must not have done the program right. Right? Right? And I've been very, very angry and upset with things like faith healers, with all these people, not because of what they do, but because of what they do to other people. Because they're willing to milk people out of millions of dollars, give them vague, comforting answers to questions that nobody knows the answer to. Or tell them to do things that are medically unsound and medically oftentimes get these people into bigger and bigger complications. But oh well, it's the will of insert outside force here. And it's disgusting. As a society, we cannot stand for faith healers. We cannot stand for snake oil salesmen. And yet I've seen the balance of society and life tilted in the direction of Real-life medical scientists are quacks, conmen, and profiteers, and yet these quacks, conmen, and profiteers are the real deal. They're making stuff in their bathtub like it was meant to be made, and these are the real cures that your doctor doesn't want you to know about. How many times has Dr. Oz, in fact, used that line? His promos caused me to frown every time I would see them while my son was watching Saturday morning cartoons before school or before daycare. I don't like the man, but I don't like him not because he's oh so dreamy and handsomer than me. I don't give two craps about who's better looking than me, because there's 100 million guys better looking than me. I don't care. Where I care is when he's taking advantage of you out there, of people who should know darn well better, who should be doing your research and not going to some of these quack sites that will tell you that Milk is secretly killing our children. It's secretly mutating our children. It's the cause of the rise in aggression and violence. Not violent video games, it's the milk. And no, I'm not kidding. There are literally sites out there that talk about this. Dr. Oz is disingenuous at worst, or at best. And he is using this gift that he has, this surgery, these degrees, these awards that he's won, and he's cashing it all in for the fame, for the adoration. Never mind if the information is correct, so long as we're getting ratings, so long as we're bringing people in by scaring them, by telling them that everything they know is wrong and only Dr. Oz knows how to do it. And what's more disingenuous than using your degree to tell people to do things that are medically dangerous and preying on grieving families? I cannot think of anything much more disgusting than that. Don't watch Dr. Oz. But if you don't like me, you don't like James Randi, you don't like the foundation, you don't like the links I have, then fine. Obviously, there's nothing I can say to you. But understand, you're being taken on a ride, and you're paying through the nose for the privilege of doing this. And if you have more money than brains, then fine. I'm not going to stop you, but don't say I didn't warn you.